morning, everyone. So today we will discuss the matrix function again, continuing what we discussed last week. Okay, and then if we can finish this part, then we can continue with the if function. Okay. Share my screen. Last week, the last part we have practice of matrix, okay. About the housing, and you practice this matrix, okay, which have 2 houses and 3 factors, which is land, labor, and material. And then you also have another matrix, which is land, labor, material with 4 cities. Okay, and then this is what you did last week. Okay. My question is, can you get which matrix you should multiply with other matrix? Which one first? And do you understand the meaning of matrix multiplication in this case? Can you explain? What is the meaning of matrix multiplication in this case? Livy, answer. Say, so matrix multiplication of P, why P multiplied by A, not A multiplied by P?
Because the number of columns in the second, the number of columns in the first matrix has to be the same as the number of rows in the second matrix. So
it's the other way around, with answer. The number of rows in the first matrix must be the same as the number of columns in the second matrix.
So the number of rows of B has to be the same as the number of columns of A.
Correct.
But it's not the same, sir. If
it's not the same, which one is A, which one is B?
The blue one is B, right?
Blue one is B, correct.
And it is the first one.
It is the first one. Then must be, let me check here. This is the one, right? The blue one is B, correct. So the blue one is B, correct? And it is the first one. So the number of correct. You're correct in that. Yeah, the number of columns in the first, matrix must be the same as the number of rows in the second matrix. Why is that? Okay. Because matrix multiplication means this row here multiplied by this column here. Okay. This row here multiplied by this column here will produce this one. Okay. The second row here multiplied by the first column here will produce this second row. Right? So the third row here multiplied by the first column here will produce the third, third row and first column in the result. That's why in matrix multiplication, the number of columns in the first matrix must be the same as the number of rows. Yeah, you're correct. Okay. So if the first matrix is A, let's call this P, right? It is R, P, comma, CP, and the second matrix is A, which is RA, comma, CA, right? To be able to multiply, then CP must be the same as RA. Okay, so this is the criteria. And then the result would be what? RP multiplied by CA. Okay, so in terms of the size. Now, in that case, let's try the second one, the second problem here. So in the following matrix, okay, detail the number of employees at 4 retail outlets. So for example, 4 malls, okay, and their wages, okay, and their benefit per year. Okay. So calculate the total salary and the benefit paid by each outlet per year to each employee. So the first matrix is executive versus the payment. The second matrix is executive versus the employees versus the mall. So how are you going to multiply in this case? Can you try? Did you try already at home?
So why the result is the same? I don't know.
That means you make a mistake.
Even though it's the correct one. Yeah. So I made it. I made one here, and then I just fill the rest, right?
Wait. B is this one. That means you have.
Yeah. B is the blue one. Yes.
Okay. You should multiply the third one. Oh. Look at this. What you multiply is the B multiplied by A.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yes.
What? Wait. What I got different from you? Let me check. Huh? Oh, your salary is different values.
Yeah, different values.
Okay. My salary is not the same with you.
Oh, I just random this.
You just random that.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah,
I see.
but it should work, right, sir?
Yeah, it should
Because
work. It should work.
yeah, why is it the same all of them? Let me calculate
You should buy
the
accident
first
that
row.
you
So
can you change
times-
one of them, for example, in the salary. For example, executive salary, you change different value, what will happen? Say for 2, is it? Oh, okay.
Oh. Yeah, it changed all of them.
Yes. No, the result does not change. Oh, why your result is all the same?
I don't know why. It's very weird.
That's weird. Okay, let me check your values.
Yeah, it's correct. The function is correct.
Okay, check using my values, what will happen? Check using my values, what will happen? I guess naming probably the problem, is it? Did you,
Sorry, sir?
probably,
The naming.
yes, probably you use A and B is the same name as above matrix, no? Can you go in the formulas and then what is the name of A and what is the name of B? Formulas. In the menu, you have a formula. That's weird. How about you, Leafy? Did you get it?
No, sir. Mine is the same with mine. All the result is the same, but I'm still trying to figure it out.
Can you make a new work?
A worksheet. Oh yes. Okay. Maybe that's the problem. Yeah, I will copy as values and then yeah, make a new worksheet.
I think you probably use the same name. Or you can name it differently, C and D or E and F, for example, instead of A and B.
this is a new worksheet, right?
Okay.
So I copied the same thing just as value.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
And then
I should name this.
and then
Same thing.
oh, I know why. Easy, easy. Because you did not use array formula, remember? You just copy that. You did not use. You forget array formula?
Oh, the format here.
No. You forget. Last week we discussed. Okay, go. Delete everything except the G4.
Except G4.
No. The delete the new matrix except the G4.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay, you remember how to multiply matrix, you forget. Okay, so here is how you multiply matrix, okay? After you type that, what you will do? Okay, you will highlight the size.
Oh,
Okay?
oh yes.
Escape.
It's not okay.
Escape. I know now why.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you highlight the size, F2, press F2, function F2, huh?
Yes.
And then shift control enter.
Shift Control Enter. Oh yes.
Ah,
Oh
okay. That's why.
yeah, that is the problem. But why can Excel just like do it
No,
automatically, like just with
no.
fill in?
This is not the usual formula. That's the difference between usual formula and matrix. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot. But
Okay. If I just look at that, I cannot understand why. But after I see your process, I can see why.
yes, it's correct now.
Okay, it's correct now. Good.
Yes, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Livy, enjoy. Oh, share your screen.
Wait, answer.
Yeah. Be careful, okay? Array formula is not the same as the usual formula. Okay? If in usual formula, you can just copy, right? In array formula, you cannot copy. Okay, so you need to use the F2, shift control enter. Is your internet stable already, Joy?
Hello, sir.
Is your internet okay?
Wait, change share my.
If it's okay, you can share your screen.
Wait, share my screen.
Hmm. Oh, you did, okay.
Yeah, like Pancha, I also forgot to F2 shift control enter,
Yes, yes.
but then it works. Yeah.
It works, okay. Livy, no problem. You want to share your screen, Livy?
All good, sir. All good now.
All good? Okay,
Yes.
okay, good. Okay, now let me share my screen then. Okay, so this is what you learned in high school probably, right? If you have a matrix A and vector P, okay, and you want to find x that A times x equal P, how are you going to solve this? Okay, so the solution is to multiply both sides with the matrix inverse, isn't it? So if you multiply both sides with matrix inverse, okay, then A inverse times A with I, with this identity matrix, right? So then you can get the solution that x is equal to A inverse times P. Okay, so this is the one that you will use in the next few slides. Okay, so yeah, this is in pesos, but you can try. So 60 candies and 7 juice, total cost of that price. Okay? And 5 candies and 8 juice, total cost of that price. Can you find the cost of each item? Okay, so first things you need to do is to formulate it. Okay, so 6C plus 7J, yeah, C is candies, J is juice, right? Equal to 85. 5C plus 8J equal to 86. So of course you can solve this by hand. If you want to solve this by matrix, how are you going to do? Okay. So the most important part here is how are you going to put this into a matrix form? Okay. So look at this. To put it into matrix form, okay, you put all the coefficient in one matrix A, 6, 7, 5, 8, and then put the variables C and J in one vector. Okay, and then the right hand side, you put it into another vector, right? And then what you will do is, if you calculate manually, you will get this. Okay. And then you will multiply to get the answer. Okay, try this in Excel. Can you? Okay, so if you try this in Excel, you will have a M inverse and then you multiply. Okay, stop sharing and you try. Once you finish, you share your screen. Practically, you can solve a linear equation using Excel. That's the point. The most important part that you need to practice is to put from equation into matrix form. Okay. If you have an equation, how you will put it into matrix. You can practice that, and very nice.
Yeah.
Can you share your screen?
This one.
You get exactly 6 and 7. Very.
Yes.
How about the others? Pancha, Joy?
Yeah.
Yes, I
Same
get the
thing.
same 6, 6,
Exactly
and
the
7,
6
7.
and 7, yeah. Okay, great. So can you practice the next formula, which is used in economy, right? To find the price. Okay. So assuming the linear demand and supply curve, okay, so you can decide or determine the stable equilibrium price. Okay, so what will be the optimum quantity for that price also? Okay, so from this equation can you make a matrix and then solve it? Yeah, P represent the price, Q represent the quantity. Yeah?
So
Okay, great. Suppose. So
we have this one, right? This one.
yeah.
As this is the demand. I can
Mhm.
say, and this is the supply,
This is the supply. Yeah?
and this is the total, right?
Mhm.
Total demand and total
Supply.
supply.
Okay.
So this is the inverse of demand and supply,
Mhm.
and this is the PQ. So the PQ is this one times the total.
Mm. So you get the price, okay, which is 2.5, say dollar, and Q is the
Quantity 4.
4 is the quantity. Okay.
Mm.
So how about Joy and Livy? Can you get the same?
Yeah, 2.5 and 4.
Yes. Okay. Last practice. Okay. Is this loan? Yeah? So if you have a loan of 30,000 to two venture companies A and B, yeah. So the annual dividend for both investment are the same amount as that earned by total loan invested 7%. Okay, so find the amount of loan for each company. Okay. So this is the problem and this is the solution. So you know A plus B is 30,000, and then you know that A is 6%, while B is 9%. Okay? And then the total loan is 7% times the 30,000. Right? So you get the equation here. Then you can input this. So use the same spreadsheet because anyway, this is like 2 by 2, right? You don't need to change the spreadsheet. Can you? Just change the number. So if the size of the matrix is the same, you don't need to create a new spreadsheet. Just change the number.
Can I share my screen?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
I just changed the number.
Correct.
1.
And you get the new answer, right? It is 20,000 and 10,000. Okay. So now, Joy, can you calculate also the determinant of A? So
The determinant.
yes, M determ. Determinant of A.
Oh, this one.
It is 0.03. Okay. Okay, good. Now, okay, thank you, Joy. Can anyone get exactly the same result, or you still have problem? Vivi, Pancha?
I haven't finished yet, sir, but I think it's okay.
You don't need to change. You don't need to make a new sheet. Okay, because the size are the same, so you just input the numbers. So basically you create a calculator here. Okay, so I want you to practice this. Okay, I will show you. I will share my. Okay, so now look at the one that we have. Earlier you have this, right? This is the candy. Can you see it? This is the candies. Okay, and the determinant is 13. Okay, and then now I have a second one. Okay, the one that you just did a while ago. You calculate the determinant is negative 44. Okay. And then this is the last one that so I just show. Determinant is 0.03. Tell me why your determinant is negative. Did you get it from A or from inverse A?
A.
A. Your determinant is negative.
It's minus, yeah. Oh, because I add minus in the, okay, never mind. Now it's not minus.
Okay. Okay. So now I want you to practice this, the last one. Just change the number. Okay, minus 1, 4, 1 minus 4. Okay. Okay, the B is up to you. Okay? I can change it into any number. But the most important is the A. If you look at this, the matrix A have the determinant of 0. Okay, so matrix A have the determinant of 0, then the matrix inverse is num num. What does it mean?
There is no inverse because the determinant is 0. Yes. So
Right.
because inverse is 1 divided by determinant times the flip matrix, then because of the determinant is 0, then it's 1 divided by 0. So it's gonna result in error.
Right, right. Very good, Pancha. So if you look at these numbers, okay, what caused the determinant 0 is each row is a multiple of the other row. If a matrix have a multiple of itself, okay, scaling, for example, the first row, okay, and the second row, what is the multiplication of first row to get the second row?
I would say -1.
Correct. So if you multiply the first row with -1, you will get exactly the second row, correct?
Yes.
Yes. If that is the case, then the determinant is always 0. Okay, then the matrix inverse is always does not exist. Okay, that's the characteristic of matrix. Okay? If one row or one column is a multiple of the others, okay, then you cannot find the matrix inverse. Okay. Okay, so because our class is not linear algebra, but about spreadsheet, so I will stop there. Okay, so let's go to the next practice. Okay, in here, in the next practice, okay, you have a data. It's up to you. You can create your own data. Huh? Okay, so this is the data of supposed to be daily stock return. Okay. So the question is there a way to determine the frequency distribution that will automatically update if I change the original data? Okay. I will create a new sheet. Did I share my screen? Okay, share my screen. Okay, so what I will do, so I will create a data first. Okay, so I will create a data. Okay, so let's say I will randomize it. Random. Okay, maybe because this is a return, right? So I will put it normal in first. Okay, so I will put normal in first. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I will put no in first. Probability is random. And then the mean is say 0, standard deviation is 2. Oh, 1 is a 3. Anyway, let's just put this. V. Okay, so this is my data. Okay, now I want to create a frequency distribution. So to create a frequency distribution, you will create the pin, isn't it? Okay, so to get that, I need to get the maximum and get the minimum, right? So maximum is the maximum of the data. Okay, so I will get this. Okay, and the minimum, again, the minimum of the data. Oh, let me name it as data. Okay, so this is the maximum of data. And this is the minimum of data. Right? So the pin is from where? The pin is, of course, from the minimum. Then I need to create what is called range. Okay, so number of pin is, for example, how many pin that you want. Okay. So
What is the number of pin 2?
the number of pin is up to you. Okay, so okay, I will just put number of pin. Number of pin, for example, 5. Okay, so what I will do? I will add this one plus the range, right? The range is what? Maximum minus the minimum. Minus the minimum anyway. That one must be in dollar string, right? And then I divide it by the number of pin so that I will know, again, this is a dollar string. So look at this, eventually you will get exactly the maximum, right? Then I delete this. So that this is the number of pin, supposed to be -1. Anyway. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the number of pin -1 if you want. So anyway, number of pin is better. so that exactly get the same. Yeah? So if the number of pin 5, that means you will have 6 pin. Right? And then this is the frequency. So what is frequency? Frequency, okay, will be the data array and the pin. Okay. So what is this? This is an array formula. Don't forget, this is an array formula. So if it is an array formula, what you will do, press F2, right? Save, control, enter. There, you get that. Okay. So I want to get the tally. How do you get the tally again last time? Correct. Huh? Repetition of the text. What is the text? Say I want to get it like this. And how many times? Frequency, right? So, you get the frequency distribution. Can you make it?
Oh yes, I see. Okay. Wait, sir.
When you finish, you share your screen. Okay.
Right.
Cool. What is the problem?
So here's the data, right?
Okay.
And it repeats.
Oh, in the beginning of the pin is the minimum. Okay.
Yes. Oh, the minimum, not maximum. Oh, minimum.
Beginning of the pin is the minimum. Okay, and then
Oh, yeah, times.
plus, yeah, plus.
Yes. Oh, yeah, plus. Oh, yeah, plus, right? Oh, yeah. Okay, now it works.
Yes.
Sir, for the number of pin here, what actually?
It's up to you. So you say for example, you put number of pin is how many you want? 4, for example. No, you type 4. You will see.
Oh, now this is 0.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. So if I put 8 and then it has, I have to
8 you need to add.
end this.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then the frequency you need to delete. No, you cannot copy.
Oh, yeah. Delete it first.
Copy the first one in your pit. The first one only. You copy the formula in the formula. No, you copy the whole formula.
Oh, wait. Yes, I'm copying the whole formula.
Okay, you highlight and then you copy Control C, and then now you delete everything. Okay,
so
now you type again the formula, and
then I have to.
Oh, still wrong. Well, your pin is incorrect.
Oh, yeah, pin.
That one easy. You go to formulas, menu, yeah? Menu, formulas.
Oh, I guess I can do. Oh no.
You cannot. You need to go to a menu. No, no, no.
Huh?
Not
Yep.
to change that. You go to formulas and then name.
Yes. Wait. I forgot
You
where's
remember
name.
that?
Okay, define name. Bin.
Correct. And then you change that. Okay, great.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Now,
Now it works. I can just. Oh, yes.
yes. And then every time you press F9, it will change.
Yeah. Every time we refresh it, right? Okay.
Okay, good. Okay, so now you can reduce the number of pin if you want.
Yes.
That number of pin is in yellow, so that you know that this is your input. Right, so you can put it as what? 4 or, yeah, that one is also yellow, that is your input. Right, so from 8 you can change to reduce, but you cannot increase. For example, you put it 6 or number of pin. Just change 6, for example.
Then yeah, it's gonna be 0 here.
Automatically 0.
Yes.
Yes. In fact, you can clean up, for example, in the pin, if you can put if there. Okay. No, the formula of the pin, you can put if the value of this is larger than maximum, then empty, just double quote. Otherwise, that formula. The formula will be repeated twice.
If this is larger than.
Yeah, that is the formula. If that value is larger than the maximum.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay. Then empty. Then double quote. Then double quote,
just
right?
write empty, yeah.
Okay. Or no, double quote is better so that you will not see.
And then what should?
Or else, then that formula again.
Is this work? Yes. Okay. Oh, doesn't work.
Or maybe the semicolon.
Wait. I think I'm missing one. Oh, yeah. I'm missing one. Yes. Okay.
The first one you should not change. Huh? The first.
Oh yeah, I didn't change the first one.
Okay, okay.
Yes. Oh wait.
Mhm.
Oh. Why is this? Yeah, this is correct, right?
Maybe you need to add if error also. If error, then
How do we put 2 if
you can just add if again in the beginning.
in the beginning?
Yes. If. So if that one what? What is the result a while ago? Well, you
Has
got
it
error, right? So if error.
error? So we just put error here.
No. If error mean if error. There is a function in Excel called if.
Oh, if error.
Yes.
If error and then
If error, then what? Empty, right? So double quote.
empty. Otherwise, we put here again.
Yes. Otherwise that one.
You've entered too many arguments for this function. Oh, it doesn't want to do that. Yeah. Oh, maybe. Oh, I think we just have to put this one. Set.
The formula now become too long already.
Yeah. No, it's too long. I don't know.
So one by one. If larger than max, it's empty. So usually I put empty is okay. I will share my screen.
Okay.
This is just optional. Okay. Can you see it? So I will put it down here. So I put it 5, right? Number of pin is 5. So let me put it 10. Okay, so that I can have a lot. Okay. So what I will do, I will put it until 10. The minimum is 4, maximum is 2.4. So this is until here, right? Is that correct? So maximum is 3.57. So this is correct. Okay, so what I will do is I will copy this. Okay, anyway, so I will delete this first. I will do the same thing. So frequency, what? I will have the data. Okay, and then now I will use the pin is the new one. Okay, and then I will do this one. So F2, shift control enter, right? So, and then I will copy this one. So this is the beginning. Is that correct? So now what I want to do is the pin is now yellow. That means I can reduce it. Okay, maximum 10. I will say max equal 10. So I will want to do it 6. So then if this is all 0, right? The problem is I don't want that. If this is 0, I want to remove this one, right? So how do I remove this one so that it's empty? I cannot see it. Neat, isn't it? So what I will do is I will copy this formula. Okay. Then I will say if, okay, this formula is larger than that maximum here, okay, then what I will do, I will make it empty. So I will make it empty. Otherwise, use that formula again. Okay. So I need to put this one with dollar string, right? Okay. So then it becomes empty, right? But the problem is what? The problem is this one, okay, is empty, but the formula depends on earlier, you see, right? So if this is the formula depends on earlier, this will become value, right? So it's not correct. So then I will add another if. Okay, so I will add another if. What is this? If error, right? If error of this value, okay, then I will put comma. What is the value of if error? Empty. Okay, there. Then I copy. The copy is from here until the end. There I get clean, right? I get clean of these values. At least the bin is now empty. So now your task is to clean up the MA in the frequency. Can you do it? Go ahead. What is your question? Livy? I think your screen is okay. Okay, let's do it one by one. So that's supposed to be okay. That name of empty, you remove that empty. You just put the double quote. Okay. Okay. So enter. Down. Okay. And then now your num bin, you change it now. Your num bin, you change it to 8, for example. Oh, nice. It works, right?
Okay.
Okay, now your frequency, now can you fix the frequency? Because your frequency still have 0 and A.
The same formula with this one, right?
Yes, yes, you need to relate it to the bin. So how are you going to do that? So how are you going to, if the bin is empty, okay, so if the bin, if one side, if the bin is empty, that one, correct, D6 equal, no, not the bin. If you're not the actual bin, if the D6 in that case, yeah, D6, if D6, if your left side, yes, is equal, empty, equal to double quote,
Equal to double quote.
yes, then what? Then double quote, otherwise frequency. Yeah, comma, double quote. So if D6 equal to double quote, comma, double quote, comma again, and then frequency data thing, and then close at the end. Yes, and then you copy everything there. You select everything, and then you Control C. You select everything in that text box, and then you Control C. And then you delete the frequency array. Then you do a array formula again. Oh, what happened to Livy? Maybe internet problem.
Yes, probably, sir.
Yeah. So, but Livy is in Jakarta, right?
No, she is in Malang.
Oh, she's in. Indonesia internet is Sometimes I'm still.
Sorry, sir, I got disconnected.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
This one, sir. But is it correct or not?
So you select everything, okay, and then Control C. In the box.
But it cannot. It shows like this. You cannot change
Exactly.
part
So
of it.
you just copy the formula that you just type because you cannot part of array, right? So you can copy the formula, Control C, okay, and then delete the. Now you delete the array of the frequency. Everything you delete from E6 to E16. You delete everything. Yeah, that one you delete. Okay, now you go to that one. Now you type the formula again, which is you already have. So Control V only. Okay, very good. And then you highlight until the 14. Oh yeah, until 16. And then what? F2 save control F. Still?
Right. It still has an A here. Wait.
Oh. Wait. Let me check. If this thing equal empty, modulus this. Oh, okay. Good. Sorry. I think you should put it as not T6.
So
Yeah.
this one, it should be all of this.
Correct. Because this is for array. Again, you
Okay.
yes, copy everything, then delete everything again, and then again.
And then the clock until 16. F2.
F2, control enter.
Okay. It's
Okay.
empty.
Yeah, that one you corrected also.
Oh, this one. It's the same with the this one, right?
Yeah. But this one is not array, so you can just copy. This is not array, so it's just if you put it there in front of that. So if the frequency is empty, right? No, if the left cell is empty, equal, no, the left cell. Don't make it array, please, because it's not array.
Okay.
Equal. Empty is double quote, right? And then become comma, double quote again. Okay, close it. Very good. And then just copy that. Because that is not array formula, so just copy. Oh,
Okay.
perfect. Okay. Okay, you did it. Pancha, or joy disappear. What happened today? Why? Maybe Telcom is doing something to the internet.
Yeah, maybe sir.
Joy is in Jakarta.
Joy is in Surabaya.
In Surabaya. Strange. Oh, Pancha, can you show your screen? You have done. Yeah, maybe perfect. Yeah.
I still haven't managed to do it, sir. So if, wait. It's still here. I've tried
Okay, good.
many times. Wait,
Okay.
can you see my screen? Oh, yep.
Anyway, the frequency is okay, but you can just make it more perfect, right? So that you can change the number of pins and then put it as empty. So visually would be nice.
Yeah, but it still creates value here.
Yeah, because you put empty there. Instead of double quote, you put it as name.
Sorry, instead of double quote.
Yeah, you see in your formula in the box there, you put it as empty, double quote empty. So I usually put double quote instead of double quote empty quote. You put it as double quote.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so just put it here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. So
yeah, but it still have to change this.
no. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't change it from the beginning. Wait.
No problem. Just one cell only. Okay. And you still have value, right? So why that value happen? So to change that, you need to put if error in the beginning. If error. Okay. Don't change anything. At the end, you comma.
Comma.
Yeah. Okay. Empty. Meaning the double quote. Then close.
No, I don't think it. Huh. Hold on.
Problem.
Do I have to put this into? Huh.
Okay.
When
Okay.
the first character is not equal.
Let's start again. Let's start again. Let me see.
That's correct, right? Value. This is the value, and this is the. Do I have to put this?
If that value is larger than max, that's empty, right? Otherwise, that value, that's correct. I think, do you want to do it again? So that,
Sorry, sir.
why so many, what is parentheses? The parenthesis is confusing.
Oh,
I think,
hold on.
you need to remove that parenthesis in red.
Remove the parentheses.
Yes. So I think your problem is just the parenthesis. So
But it works here. Oh,
yeah, that's why I suggest if you want, you start with beginning again.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. So that will not, okay. So this is work, right?
This works. Yeah.
Okay, this work is fine. Then you just add if error then in the beginning. If error, okay. Look at that. If error is value, and then at the end you put value if error is just okay, and then empty. Empty is double quote. Okay, and then close.
And then I put close parentheses,
Yes,
right?
yes. It should work, right?
Oh yeah, it should.
Then copy to down.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Now it works.
Okay. Nice work. Yeah. So now in the frequency you change it. If no.
Yes, if any.
No, not if.
Oh.
Not if any.
Oh yeah.
Okay, if NA you want to try, but this is become a problem if you use if NA. because you see that there is a still value 1 there. Right. So my suggestion is to use if the bin is empty. Okay, then empty. Otherwise, the frequency data bin. Not using if and if, but forward.
I think I got disconnected, sir. So yeah, if and a, and then just empty, and then I put that into 2. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Oh, easy one. Ah, still NA.
Yes, because you should not use if and a. You see, there is a.
Sorry, sir?
You should not use if and a. You should use if. Okay, you do that again. Okay, if the bin, if bin equal, that one is okay. That one no problem. If bin equal,
In equal.
yes, double quote. If bin equal double, that means if bin is empty, right? Then double quote, that's mean empty.
Wait, sir. Bin
Double
equal.
quote, if bin equal double quote.
Oh, okay.
Semicolon in your case, right? And then double quote again. The true value is if the bin is empty, then make it empty. Otherwise, like that. The meaning of if then is if true, else. So if bin is empty, semicolon, empty, meaning double quote. When I said empty, you type double quote. Can you hear me? I think today we have a lot of internet problem.
Yeah.
So
if bin,
yeah. So
if bin equal m, okay, then again double quote.
Otherwise,
that one, the frequency
yes.
theta bin, okay, and then close it one more. Okay, finish. And then again, it is an array formula, so just until there.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Then, okay.
Hmm.
That one is easy. Just if then. If the left part,
Yeah.
if the left cell, that means T41, right?
Mhm.
Is empty. Double quote, right? Then empty. Otherwise,
Yes.
okay.
Oh.
Close it. Okay, that one copy normally because that
Yeah. Okay. Finally works. Yeah.
perfect. Okay.
Finally. Okay, sir.
So you want to show? Okay. Is it there or maybe her connection is another problem?
Yeah, I think her connection is not it's not stable enough, sir.
Yeah.
Because she said that she even though she's in Zoom, she cannot see the share screen.
Oh no. Hey. Okay, so anyway, I have recording, so we'll, I hope she can learn from the recording. The last lesson for array formula is matching. Last time we learned about match, right? Okay, so here it is. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so suppose you have two lists. Okay, list of name in here. Huh? So can you determine which name occur in both lists? So you use match, okay? Match list one, list two, and then you use as an array formula, okay? So the result is match list one, list two, 0, okay? Then you use this as array formula. Again, how to use as array formula? You press F2, right? And then Shift Control Enter, okay? So in this case, automatically it will look, okay, through all the cells of list one. Okay, if the match exists, the formula will return the position of the first match in list two. Okay, if no match, of course, it will return NA. Okay, so if you look at the one that down there in the spreadsheet, I will show you that this is the match. Okay, and then you use to clean it up, use if and a. Can you do it? Okay, you type the list, this one. And,
Yes, sir. Let me try.
okay. Okay, try that. Pretty much.
Yeah, and I've put if NA and then it's gonna be empty.
Okay, so then that is the one that match, right? So banana,
Yes.
is there any banana in list two?
Oh, I matched the 2 in 1.
Oh, okay, no, 2 in 1. Then watermelon should be in list 1.
Yeah, in 3. Yeah, and then melon should be
In 4, that's correct. And then papaya is in 7, correct? Mango,
Yeah.
correct. So yeah, finished. So practically you just do the matching between two lists, right?
Yeah.
Just to find the intersection. If the list is very long, then you just copy that formula and then you can get everything down.
Yeah, and then fill everything.
Correct. So the one that empty is meaning that no match.
No match. Yes.
The one that match will have the row numbers.
Yes.
So this is just to show that match that usually you use without array, you can also use it as array.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can also practice the next slide, which is the logical function. Okay. I'll show you. The if logical function is practically about if, right? So there are 3 functions in Excel, which is if error, if and a. You already practice if error and if and a. So let's try this. Okay. So if formula will have a conditional test. Okay. Well, up to limited, in limited degree, it is the same as programming language, like Java, Python, and so on. Yeah. So let's do these 2 practices. Okay. One is this: if I order up to 500 units of a product, I pay $3 per unit. If I order 501 through 1,200 units, I pay $2.7 per unit. Again, if I order from 1201 until 2000, I pay $2.3 per unit. If I order more than 2,000 units, I pay $2 per unit. Okay, that is like a lookup table. So the question is, can we use if formula? Okay. How I will enter a formula that expresses the purchase cost as a function of number of units. So you create a table like this, okay, and then then you can input the order quantity is up to you. Say, for example, 450, 500, whatever. Okay? And then you need to supposed to get the cost, right? So to get the cost, you need to get the per unit cost. Okay, per unit cost is based on that table above. So you call it cut 1, cut 2, cut 3. Okay. That is the formula of if. So you look at this. The if formula can be nested. Okay, you can put if inside if inside if. Okay. And you try this one, and then the next practice is to make a game of crab. Okay, in the game of crab, 2 dice are tossed. If the total of the dice on the first roll is 2, 3, or 12, you lose. If the total dice in the first roll is 7 or 11, you win. Otherwise, the game keep going. So, question is, can you make this game in Excel? Okay, so the result is very easy. Actually, you put a random number. Okay, 2 random number here, and then you will have this dice face, and then you will simulate what is the toss, and okay, then you set the result. If the result based on the rule of the game, whether it is 2, 3, 12, you lose. Okay. 7 and 11, you win. Otherwise, keep going. Okay, so try to do these 2 practices. In the first practice, the cost is basically unit cost, okay, multiplied by the order quantity. Okay. The cost here is A times C. And this order quantity is up to you. So I can put 4,500 here to make a change. And the question is how to get this per unit cost. So then you need to use this table.
Disconnected several times. Are we doing the fruits exercise?
The
The product, the cut-off and price?
yes,
Or
yes.
are we doing the other? Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the
By the way,
logic.
I wanted to ask, what's the shortcut for the dollar sign? Instead of like
F4,
typing it
F4, F4.
F4.
You keep repeating the F4, you will have
Okay.
Sir, can I share my screen?
oh, cool.
Oh, here. What this one? I don't know whether it is correct or not.
So you use double if, right? If F2 yes less than B1, okay, then less or equal, right? Less or equal.
This one.
Yes, or equal, right?
Oh, Equal.
Okay, and then
Which one?
that equal also. That one also equal. Okay, very good. And then copy that all down. Okay, very good. So you can put, for example, the order is exactly 500.
The order.
Yes. So you can change to 500, for example. Why?
Why it doesn't change?
Oh, why doesn't change? Okay, I understand why.
Oh,
You
I
forget to put dollar sign. You forget to put dollar sign. Okay, in the beginning again. Put which one? The F no change. Okay, the F no change. So only the P you need to put dollar sign.
the P and then the C. The P and then the C. C.
Okay, good. And then you copy it down. Ah.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
very
correct.
good. Yes, very good. So, what Mancha, Joy, you want to share your screen?
Sure. I got the same result.
Oh, you got the same result. Okay.
Yeah, 3, 2.7, and 2.3.
Yes. So
If we change this
exactly
one,
500.
yeah.
Yes, it's 500. Exactly 500. 500 is 3, isn't it?
Yeah, I need to equal.
Equal, you put equal. Okay. Yes. So that's how you test, right?
Yeah.
At the cutoff. Okay, very good. Pancha, you want to share your screen?
Yes, I can. Wait. So here, I get the same number. Oh well, I
Okay.
changed this to. Oh, hold on.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to put the
Dollar sign in the last.
F4. Yes, on the last one. And then yeah, it turns into 2,
Yeah.
and the cost
So
is just cost per unit times order quantity.
What happened if you put exactly 500?
It's still 3 because I put less and equal.
Okay,
Or equal.
super. Okay, how about the next practice? Okay, so I will just show you. Okay, so screen share. So the key, can you see it? The key is in here. Okay, dice phase. The dice phase is what? 1/6, right? Correct. So that means this is I put as R1, random number, random 1, random 2. Okay. So then you will say if R1 is less than 1/6, 1. If R1 is less than 2/6, 2. If R1 is less than 3/6, 3. Huh? If R1 is less than 4/6, 4. If R1 is less than 5/6, 5, otherwise 6. So this is the key. Huh? The same thing with the second one, but this is R2, right? And then the toss is just add of the two faces. Okay. And then the keep going and so on is just again another if. Huh? So based on the rule, okay. So you can use or. Okay. If the toss is 2 or 3 or 12, then lose. Okay. If the toss is 7 or 12, then win. Otherwise, keep going. Okay, so then you can play by pressing F9. So this is what is called Monte Carlo simulation, okay? So this formula here, the one that you put. To get the dice phase, you get it from the probability, the cumulative probability, not the probability itself, but from the cumulative probability. You compare random number with the cumulative probability. You see that cumulative probability is 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, right? Is there any question here?
It's really long. Sir, how do we run them with decimal? Or we just put rand?
RAND.
Yes, okay. And it will come up with maximum 0.99, right?
Yeah.
Or it's, yes, okay.
Between 0 and 1.
Yeah.
Right. Then you can create two random number, name it R1 and R2. So with this, you can play games in Excel, okay? You can create your own game. First, you can generate random number. And if then nothing will prevent you from creating anything practically. So Excel is the same as programming, right? But the nice thing in Excel is you can look at the numbers there. I usually use Excel for prototyping, okay? Because it's very fast to create. Say you want to try your own formula, maybe you want to try your own games, then you use Excel because you just change the number, you just change the formula very fast, right? When already you make it in Excel correctly, then you can transfer that formulas in Python or in other programming language that you want.
Like this one.
Oh. Okay, so it's, F9.
F9.
Yes. Function, okay, good. Very good. Okay.
It works.
Yeah, it works. Yeah. So with this, you can create your own game. Yeah? This is, of course, this is very simple game, but you can create your own more complicated games if you want. In Excel.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Now, Advanza, Joy, can you manage to make it? Easy, right? The most important part there in the last this is you should understand the meaning of cumulative probability. Okay. So if you want to use dice, then the probability is 1/6. Right? Then you make it into cumulative, then become 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, and so on. If you want to simulate a coin, then of course less than 0.5 and less than 1. Okay. So if you want to create a simulation of the card, for example, the bridge card which have 52, right? Then what will be the formula? Okay, less than 1/52, 2/52, and so on. Of course, because this is 52, then you will not just use the if. Okay, you will use different way. Okay. Probably you will use lookup table and so on.
Sir, I have a question.
Oh.
What's the difference between using if not and if error?
If not, if the result is not a number. Okay, if error is general for any error. If na is only if it is not a number. Okay, if error is including if na.
If error also includes if na and value as well. Also, if error actually includes everything. So if it doesn't work, we just can use if error.
Yes. If it doesn't work, it's if error. But if you want to make sure that this is not under error, it's just a number error, then you use if na. Right? Excel.
And
anyway.
what is the difference between value and error then, sir?
Not a number. The value can be text.
Oh.
So if it is number, we use if error.
If error is general. If you don't want to make a problem, just use if error. But if you see in Excel, it just say if NA, right? Excel will tell you NA, correct? A while ago, in the list,
yes,
it will show you it's NA. That means then you use if na. It's easier.
Oh,
Error will check everything. But if you don't want to use if na, you want to use if error. That's the same. Because if error will contain everything.
so the safer way we use the if error.
That's okay. You can use if error. Right, the one in list a while ago, matching the
Yeah.
You try. What happened if instead of if na you use if error? Does it work?
Wait, let me try it.
You want to share your screen so that the others can also see?
Okay. Let me share my screen. So here. Same but it's the same.
Yes, it's the same. Right? So because if error contain everything.
Oh, okay.
But if na is only the error of not a number.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay, very good. So, is there anything else that you want to ask for today's lesson?
I think no, sir. That's
Okay,
it.
so thank you very much for today then. So, for next week, we are going to learn about financial function, call sheet, and data table. Can you read beforehand if possible?
Okay, sir. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So three. If you read beforehand, and at least you have more question. Okay, and probably we can also finish the three of them. Okay? If you don't read, probably it will drag, so probably we can only finish one. That's okay. But it's your benefit if you read. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. See you next week.
Yeah, see you
Sir.
next
Yes,
week.
sir.
Bye.